So, good afternoon, dear fellow trading friends. Today we have a lot of news, not only the news which have been already released today, but also news until the end of this week and also coming during the next 4 weeks. So we will have a big roller coaster on the market. Currently, the Bitcoin at 66,663, and in this video, I wanted also to make it a little bit entertaining for you to have also some more fun, giving you some more details about the market, about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, gold, crude oil, NASDAQ, S&P, and also some forex market. But before I'm gonna continue, I wanna ask you to watch first of all this video until the end. It is very, very important before I'm going to continue. At the last part of the video, then I will closely talk about yesterday, today's, and tomorrow's move and reaction of the market. Also, what will happen until Friday. So, here we go.
Understand why the ratings agencies haven't downgraded subprime bonds since the underlying loans are clearly deteriorating.
Well, the delinquency rates do have people worried, but they're actually within our models.
So, says you.
You're convinced the underlying mortgages in these bonds are solid loans?
But that is our opinion,
Oh,
yes.
crack the tape. Have you looked at the loan level data?
What do you think we do
you're
here
giving these
all
loans
day?
to anybody with a credit score and a
Excuse
pulse.
me, sir, what do you think we do here all day?
I'm not sure. That's why we're here.
Here's what I don't understand.
Check, we recheck.
If these
recheck
mortgage
again.
bonds are so stable, if they are so
Perhaps you could
solid,
check your friend.
have you ever refused
We
to
stand
rate?
That's
behind them.
delusion.
We
Georgia,
stand behind
have
them.
you ever refused to rate any of these bonds upper tranches AAA? Can we see the paperwork on those deals?
Oh, I'm under no obligation to share that information with you,
Just
whoever you might
answer the
be.
question, Georgia. Can you name one time in the past year where you checked the tape and you didn't give the banks the AAA percentage they wanted?
If we don't give them the ratings, they'll go to Moody's, right down the road. If we don't work with them, they will go to our competitors. Not our fault, simply the way the world works.
So this was the first video. This is very important to help you to understand it better before I'm gonna to technical details of the market, especially for traders who are new, to understand it better.
Okay, hi. How are you?
Have a seat.
Okay, Mr. Bennett from Deutsche Bank. Here we have. So how many people have you talked to about this trade?
A few. There's definitely some interest.
Oh, my boss would have my ass.
You crazy, Jim?
Not gonna
Get lost,
Fuck
Jared.
you.
Which is why you're here talking to us, a wrong number. Sounds like there's a lot of interest.
All right. A few people have invited us in just to laugh at me on this deal. Is that you? Is that what this is?
That's not what this is. That's just how Mark is. Let's see what you got.
I'm sorry.
You smell that? What is that?
What?
What's that smell?
The cologne?
No.
Opportunity.
No. Money.
Okay.
I smell money.
Okay.
Chris. God damn it.
Sorry.
This is your basic mortgage bond. All right? The originals were simple. They were just thousands of AAA mortgages bundled together, guaranteed by the U.S. government. The modern ones are different. They're private, and they're made up of layers of tranches. The highest level AAAs getting paid first, the lowest rated Bs getting paid last, taking on defaults first. Now, obviously, if you're buying Bs, you can make more money, but they're a little risky. Sometimes they fail. Chris? Somewhere along the line, these B's and double B's went from a little risky to dog shit. Where's the trash?
Behind you.
I'm talking rock bottom FICO scores. No income verification. Adjustable rates, dog shit. The default rates are already up from 1% to 4%, fellas. And if they rise to 8%, and they will, a lot of these triple Bs are going to 0 too. And that, you're too close, is an opportunity.
Okay, you're saying that at 8% the bonds fail and we are already at 4%?
That's right.
If they go to 8, it's Armageddon.
Yeah, that's right.
How come nobody's talking about this?
You're completely sure of the math.
Look at him. That's my quant.
You're what?
My quantitative. My math specialist. Look at him. You notice anything different about him? Look at his face.
That's pretty racist.
Look at his eyes. I'll give you a hint. His name's Yang. He won a national math competition in China. He doesn't even speak English. Yeah, I'm sure of the math.
Actually, my name's Jiang, and I do speak English. Jared likes to say I don't because he thinks it makes me seem more authentic. And I got second in that national math competition.
So you're offering us a chance to short this pile of blocks? How?
With something called a credit default swap. It's like insurance on the bond, and if it goes bust, you can make 10 to 1, even 20 to 1 return, and it's already slowly going bust.
10 to 1, 20 to 1? No way.
And no one's paying attention. No one is paying attention because the banks are too busy getting paid obscene fees to sell these bonds.
But wait, you are the bank. I mean, you work for the bank. I bet your margins are pretty nice and fat.
Let's not talk about my margins, by the way. Being nice and fat. That's a nice shirt. Do they make it for men?
Aren't you the bank?
I work for the bank. I don't think like a bank. Big bank, small bank, I like to make money. All right? Let me put it this way. I'm standing in front of a burning house, and I'm offering you fire insurance on it.
How can these underlying bonds be as bad as you say? It wouldn't be legal.
Nobody knows what's in them. Nobody knows what's in the bonds. I've seen some that are 65% AAA rated, that I know for a fact are filled with 95% subprime shit with FICOs below 550.
Get the fuck out of here.
You want me to really blow your mind? When the market deems a bond too risky to buy, what do you think we do with it? Take a guess.
I don't know, you tell me.
All right. You think we just warehouse it on the books? No. We just repackage it with a bunch of other shit that didn't sell and put it into a CDO.
A CDO.
Yes, a CDO.
What is that?
This is where we take a bunch of Bs, double Bs, and triple Bs that haven't sold, and we put them in a pile. And when the pile gets large enough, the whole thing is suddenly considered diversified. And then the whores at the rating agency give it a 92, 93% AAA rating. No questions asked.
Say that again.
A collateralized debt obligation. It's important to understand because it's what allowed a housing crisis to become a nationwide economic disaster. Here's world-famous chef Anthony Bourdain to explain.
Okay, I'm a chef on a Sunday afternoon, setting the menu at a big restaurant. I ordered my fish on Friday, which is the mortgage bond that Michael Burry shorted. But some of the fresh fish doesn't sell. I don't know why. Maybe it just came out halibut has the intelligence of a dolphin. So what am I going to do? Throw all this unsold fish, which is the triple B level of the bond, in the garbage and take the loss? No way. Being the crafty and morally onerous chef that I am, whatever crappy levels of the bond I don't sell, I throw into a seafood stew. See, it's not old fish. It's a whole new thing. And the best part is they're eating 3-day-old halibut. That is a CDO.
Well, I just need to know how these could possibly be correlated.
So somehow you're like the Dora the Explorer, and you're the first person who has found this thing.
Hold on. So mortgage bonds are dog shit. CDOs are dog shit wrapped in cat shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Institutions treat these CDOs like they're as solid as treasury bonds, and they're going to zero.
No, it can't be right. There were $500 billion in housing bonds sold last year alone. The ratings agencies, the banks, the fucking government. You're saying they're all asleep at the wheel?
Yeah. My whole department's long on this stuff. They call me Chicken Little. They call me Bubble Boy. A's, 0. B's, 0. Double B's, 0. Triple B's, 0. And then that happens.
What is that?
That's America's housing market. Thank you.
Fucking A, Jared.
Shut your fucking mouth. So I was right. I took a rash of shit for 2 years, but I was right, and everyone was wrong. And yeah, I got a bonus check for it. Sue me. You know? It's a lot of money. I get it. I could feel you judging me. That's palpable. But hey, I never said I was the hero of this story.
So I'm sure you have been watching this beautiful movie, which is based on true facts. Chinese crypto traders also use some old-fashioned methods to flout rules. These include meetings in public places where they exchange addresses of crypto wallets according to people with knowledge of these trades. Traders either swap crypto directly, paying cash, and arrange bank transfers. China's illegal crypto activities are taking place in laundromats and cafes. Physical trading is almost popular in China's inland, as places further from the coast are generally poor, so local governments are preoccupied with other matters, Wall Street Journal reported. Crypto users in China are conducting trades in everyday locations to get around the country cryptocurrency ban, according to a report by the Wall Street Journal on Thursday. Traders meet in public places such as cafes, snack houses, blah 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 blah. They also use social media apps like WeChat and Telegram, where dedicated groups allow buyers and sellers to transact directly without the medium of an exchange. Physical trading is most popular in China's inland, as places further from the coast are generally poor, so located governments are preoccupied with other matters lacking the enforcement of the central bank's crypto ban. The People's Bank of China, PBOC, declared all crypto-related activities illegal in 2021, and since then crypto exchanges stopped allowing citizens of mainland China to open accounts on the platforms. Nevertheless, the country still saw some $86.4 billion in over-the-counter trading volume in 2023, according to blockchain intelligence firm Chain Analysis. If crypto trading remains somewhat alive and well in an authoritarian countries such as China, it may not bode well for other jurisdictions that wish to take a stern approach to policing cryptocurrency in the future. Interestingly, this news was published by CoinDesk. On the page of uscc.gov, I'm going now to show you some companies, Chinese companies listed on the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, and then further in this video I will mention why it matters. These are the companies, and important is the lead writers or underwriters to give guarantees for these companies are well known to you. For example, the CICC Bank, Credit Suisse, Goldman Sachs, Credit Suisse, Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan Chase, Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch, Deutsche Bank, and always the same banks helping this fraud. And we see here the companies, you can screenshot or you can memorize them. First of all, PDD, the Pinduoduo Incorporation, then Baba or Alibaba Group, then NetEase, then JD.com, Baidu, Li Auto, Tripcom, KE Holdings, Beijing, Neo, Young China, ZTO Express, Tencent Music, Neo Oriental Education Technology, Xpeng, Legend Biotech, H World Group, Vipshop Holdings Limited. Then we have Full Truck, Miniso, Kenjun Limited, Bilibili, then IQIY, or IQ is the short form, Autohome, and Lufax. Further, China Data, RLX, HUTCHMED, Zylab, ZKH, Weibo, Kifu, Autolife, Star Holding, JQYY, or the short wave YY, Deco New Energy, and Jinko Solar. It's not the end, and we see these have been the most 20, right? So the list is much more longer, and we see now how corrupted NASDAQ is, and in nearly 90%, over 90% of all those companies, always the same banks, they are publishing their reports. But Morgan Stanley said, JP Morgan said, Goldman Sachs said. So the analyst, the Wall Street analysts of Goldman Sachs said, and blah, blah, blah. Why they are publishing all those reports, guys? Because they have been already underwriting all the stocks, and of course they want to push up the number or the rating of these companies higher, that they make money, and then they start very slowly to sell all the stocks, and then months later you see, you're wrong, something is wrong with the market, but the market is not going, and before you take action, the market is down. Then, very important is, since the last week, of course, this is well known to us, I hope to you too, the espionage, the Chinese espionage, especially now in all European, especially German news. Germany arrests aid for far-right EU lawmaker. China's espionage arrest hint a dark side of China-Europe competition. Cases of suspected Chinese espionage in Europe, and this is just the beginning, guys. So now we go to the second part of this video, the analysis, but we continue first with some very important fundamentals. The first one is that Cassie Wood's popular ARK funds are sinking fast. Well, we knew that. I was reporting about them since 12 months ago. It's not something new. It has lost more than 72% from the beginning of the last year, but now the news media are going to report about that. So they mention here that such stocks of Tesla, Zoom Video, Communications, and Roku, but they don't talk about Bitcoin and crypto, especially the fall of Bitcoin from 73% gave the rest of short selling for the ARK funds. We all know that Cassie Wood, together with Michael Saylor and some others, are those people who, since the pandemic or the COVID time, started to push up the Bitcoin price, or they have been spreading a lot of channels on social media, well, to manipulate the buyers or people who didn't know, to make those cryptos attractive. But it is so urgent or so dangerous at this moment for all these funds that the news media cannot anymore hide it, because everyone now today in Facebook, everybody was, nearly everybody, so of my followers there, have been spreading all this news. But since days and weeks, that's the good news. A lot of people are becoming awakened. Then we see here that Apple, the number one in China, in 2 weeks ago, I was giving the sell signal for Apple, or positioning much more short positions on Apple. But now, so you see the news. I want to first to explain here the news you are reading today, or maybe you get some screenshot wherever you are. This is not happening. The course of Apple, Bitcoin has been now 2% up, blah, blah, blah. All the news has happened more than 4 to 8 weeks ago, a minimum, right? There are also some news that are extremely old. An event that has been happened, for example, 1 year ago, they are talking about it. And this is showing you that the fake news media is in the hand of all these stocks. Of course, these people have their own, if you go, for example, to channels where you are looking for jobs, they all are looking for social media creators, right? So crazy, very aggressively, because they wanted them to make these stocks and these news much more attractive. It's not about that person who is working at those creating department, because they give him, okay, this is the news, make, for example, a YouTube video about it, and that poor person doesn't know how should he know that, right? His job is just to create that post. So we see here that now Apple, here's the title, Apple's China iPhone sales dive 19% in worst quarter since 2020, according to Counterpoint Research. It's not true. It's the 10th worst quarter. The last one we had already in November of the last year, and also in January, in February, and last not least, many bad news about Apple computer. So Apple is one of the big 6 movers of NASDAQ. If you have been following the oil market, everybody was talking about sell. Now Israel war tensions are back. It's exactly the opposite happening. China and Russia agreed to cut almost all US dollars from multi-world trade. The report comes amid China's stockpiling of natural resources to challenge the US dollar status of being the currency with which oil prices are determined. The strategic move occurs as the Middle East further destabilizes, and NATO discusses moving nuclear weapons to Poland. Very important for Bitcoin, dollar, and of course for the stocks. We see here that now the US 10-year Treasury note stabilizing after the correction, still very, very strongly above. So we see here, this is the current price, stabilizing above 4.59. Well, still, this is the current average. The true average is if the bonds are below 3.8, it is something good for the stock market, but it's not happening. This level you should know every day, and you check it every day before you take any trade. Very, very important. And this one also very important, the financial conditions index, the FCI, is the difference while the that's showing the difference between the interest rates and the treasury notes, so that's risk differential. Normally, if the treasury bonds sinking, this curve has to go down, but we see it's exactly the opposite. The risk still increasing while we had a correction also in the treasury note market. And we have here the so-called oil risk sentiment indicator, which is still very up. Even the correction of this index is far away above the average line. So that's showing you the trapped buyers and the trapped longs in the stock market, especially in the tech market and in the crypto market, and especially for the US citizens, because they are not allowed to trade anything or not the most indicators directly like others can do. So they are doing it through the so-called ETFs. For example, an example is the Bitcoin ETFs have been announced by the BlackRock, and they cannot directly, or if they are doing it, they should take the risk to do it then over the counter, and that's extremely dangerous. So you will have a lot of, so over 95% risk or 95% loss possibility if you are doing bought over the counter, because first of all, the merchant, you don't know, you send the money and you want to have the money back, but the merchant doesn't give you back your money. The second one is, if the merchant is, for example, sitting, let's say, in a country like Albania, China, Northern Korea, they have been opening also in other countries, almost African and Asian countries, some over-the-counter trading brokerages. If you trade like them, you will have the same, because if they get announced, they immediately get banked by the sanctions, so you never again see your money again. So be very careful. That's the same danger you will have even if you start trading with the Hong Kong ETFs, especially right now after the after the last attack of Iran on Israel. Now the world community, we see, is taking a lot of actions. That's the reason that the news have been publishing about the espionage of China. Of course, everybody knew it since years, but they had relationships. And now the pressure on European governments is so big because they're playing with the risk getting sanctioned by themselves, by the other nations like Israel and the United States, if they are not going to cooperate, especially the UNO. But you will maybe in 2 or 3 weeks read the first news. For example, that diplomat of UNO has been arrested or because of espionage with China or for Iran, is not anymore allowed to take part in United Nations. But I'm telling you, these are some insider information, therefore I'm not going to mention it. But you will read those news maybe in some weeks if you're lucky, and maybe in some months. So remember then this video and today's video and also my voice that's told you. We see here that a lot of investors are trapped, last not least, for example, by manipulation above the in the social media, then in the trading chat, you know them, a lot of people who are knowing nothing, or they are announcing, yeah, Hong Kong ETF, Bitcoin will go to the moon. So the same happening then to stock market, in Twitter, especially in Twitter, as because of being free speech, having free speech right there, and also on the other social media. So we see here, especially the US citizens are in big risk because they cannot, for example, trade the crude oil directly. They must do it over the ETFs. They cannot trade Bitcoin directly if the broker is in the United States, but they should have it, for example, above or through the broker offered that ETFs. The same, especially now, the Hong Kong ETFs, which is a product to finance the Chinese government, right? So the next time if somebody telling you if you are a patriot, then you exactly know the dollars you are putting on that ETF is going in the pocket of the China's government. So be very vacant. And then you will have an additional risk if, let's say, you have been opening a broker account, let's say in Canada or in some other countries, and then the government, knowing that, not only you have lost your money, guys, because you can be charged of that very illegal actions. Okay, so don't fail. You will have, in this case, a lot of traps. Trap number one is by the market. Trap that you will lose your money. Trap number two is the political trap. Nobody's telling you this, but they say, okay, you have been helping the Chinese government. Chinese are enemy and the friend of the terrorists, and now you directly go to jail. If you want to risk your life, buy the ETFs, I tell you. But don't tell me that we haven't told you this. So after this video, if you have missed, watch this video. Eyes on this secret indicator is about the VIX indicator, and I'm going also to see you what's happening at this moment and how it does help us during the next days and weeks. And in this video especially, it's a little bit long, about 58 minutes. I have explained very in details how you should use this indicator, so I'm not going to mention that anymore here. So the most of you of trustworthy subscribers here who am I in contact on Instagram, that you have already got the trade plan of this week, and therefore I'm not going to mention that trade plan anymore in YouTube videos, because I'm gonna only to send it directly to that person. So the reason is that somebody told me, of our team members, since we are publishing these trade plans in Tradingview, interestingly, all those scammers news agencies have been publishing the news, especially on Tradingview. Tradingview is not scamming because they have partnerships with this news publisher. That's all right. But those news publishers were using, we have been tracking then the data back. They have been very using those trading plan we published on the Tradingview. And so I was wondering why after my trading plan publishing, some or most of them are going immediately to publish the same. So I didn't take it for serious. And then I told them to my team, now we make it the opposite. We are not going to publish it, and let's see what happened. And if you look at the news, not anymore estimates or estimations, no anymore predictions where the market will go, to what level, whatever of those news agencies. No Wall Street analyst or coin analyst news has been published since then. So therefore, we are going also to trap them. You got all the exact point I have been mentioning on the trading plan, and everyone has received. I have been checking it for sure, and 100% of trade plans we have sent out on Instagram privately to those people have also received it. Okay, so if somebody of you is not receiving, then tell me again, but I'm sure because I've been checking myself too, and some of people of my team, and they confirmed everything is okay. They all have received it. So 3 days ago. Well, we begin with Bitcoin, and we see here something very interesting. Each time the Bitcoin is meeting a certain level, and the levels also the further levels, I have been mentioning the exact levels on the trading plan you have received. Immediately the VIX is going up, and that's a sign it's not a good idea. The market will possibly go through, but we will come back down again. So I can tell you something. The possibility that in Bitcoin especially we hold this level, the next level will be something around 67,400, but we have been already received that. So we can even go to around 69,200. And if it's not happening today, and we see that Bitcoin is very weak at this area, so until Friday the market will go up, because on Thursday we have the GDP data, and then on Friday the very strong PCI. Today the PMI data, the Producing Manager Index data came out. It was lower than estimate. That was the reason that here we had then a hype, or a bullish hype up, caused not by Bitcoin directly, caused by NASDAQ. And the reason is that it's typically bad news for the stock market. Okay, it's a very bad news for the stock market. But what does the stock market do? If we look at NASDAQ at US 100, and we see this move up, and the newspaper said, yeah, NASDAQ is now 2% or 1.68% plus. They're talking about these guys. But nobody's telling you where the market came from, right? You gotta see here. So the next time you read there or listen to economic news, and somebody tells you, yeah, all the stocks 2% up again, then you know exactly they're talking about that. But nobody is talking about that, all right? So the reason is that the market, well, is looking at this elephant, right? Watch again my elephant videos of the last 2 weeks ago I did it, right? So there are 5 or 6 blind people, somebody looking at this, somebody looking at this, somebody is sitting down here, they don't see the elephant, and then they just touch bodies, different parts of this elephant, right? So, and nobody knows that's an elephant, but everybody is associating that part of elephant. Let's say the first blind person is touching, right, this part of the body of the elephant. Say, oh, that's a nice rope, something like that. So, and this news media, and of course the people who are sitting behind closed doors, the big guys, they are here, guys. But they want you to buy the market because they want to sell down the market back again very heavily. Okay, but they are not telling you that. And 99%, more than 99% even, 99.99 of well-informed traders are acting like this. They see only this. And they are well informed. Trading since years. And they say, yeah, the market does it. The market does it. Doesn't it? If we add also the total number of retail traders plus new traders who are trading since 1 or 2 or 3 years, or even 5 years, new traders but privately, then we can see nearly, that's a close number to 100%, right? Because those very special traders, insiders, the business insiders, they look at the big picture, guys, all right? So don't fall into this trap. We know what fundamentals are coming. We know that, and I've been saying last week that this week we have also the earnings. So the banking sector started to go down, and last not least, a lot of them are involved also in these tech companies, especially in Chinese companies. A big sanction of China is on the road. We will have during the next weeks a very, very big move in the market, especially putting much more sanctions on China, putting much more sanctions on Iran. Last not least, it will push up the VIX indicator. We see every time exactly the market is making a correction, right? You can see here the market making a correction. Everybody is telling, okay, we are going up. The VIX indicator, I have been here marking all these points with arrows, right? You see, then here, for example, so the market structure has been broken, and every time the VIX started to rise immediately, dramatically. If you have no VIX indicator, you can go then on the price scale where, for example, you program your market and then you use the VIX itself, and we will have the VIX chart, right? This is the price of the VIX. And then the problem is you must do these 5 steps, and you look only at 3 numbers. First of all, the first number is 20. The second number is 15. And the last number is 40, right? Let's say at this time frame, we are at 10-minute time frame. The current number in 10-minute chart is 15.81. Then you go at 30-minute time frame. You see now the average number is at 16.93, and so on every time frame. So what does it tell us? It just tells that you must check and compare the number of VIX from the lowest to the highest time frames, and if on every chart you have been monitoring the VIX is below this average, it means that we will have a correction upside for a shorter period of time. Then to buy, you wait until the VIX is below 4, okay, below 4. 4 is the magic number. It can be, for example, 3, that's the better. It can be 2, that's the better. Ideally, it should be at 1. And if it means 1, then you can bet that, for example, crypto can go up, NASDAQ can go up, and also other market. The oil market started already to get up, but it has also another measures, and also the gold market, right? But it's not happening yet. This is the reason that in the gold market, for example, we have a strong trend up. The market is coming down. I will show you shortly. The bears have started to sell their positions, meaning that they have been selling the markets here and not taking profit here, right? So they sell or they decrease their short positions, but gold, instead of going up, is consolidating and now threatens to go deeper. That's because of the tensions, first of all. The second one is also the bans of some gold trading on China and allies of Iran countries, but this news will be published in some days. So we see, for example, here in the gold market started to make a correction, and now in this correction, suddenly the gold market started a downtrend, right? So everybody was expecting the gold will up, and now the gold started a point where it touched a very important level that from here now a short term, and if it holds longer, medium term downtrend is starting, right? So we see here, for example, that the so-called SAC index, which is a big measure for short selling, is going down. This is very good if you are, for example, long for gold, right? So you see here the red color, or it's going down, meaning the bears are reducing their positions. But now at this level, right, where we had the signals, we see now it has reached the zero line, and the bears increase from here upside. Now suddenly again their position, they have been taking profits, but now start massively to sell gold, right? So on the other side, we see also that the gold volatility is really down. That's not good if you are long in gold. Instead, if you are short, that's a good measure. In this case, then the Chinese and others are massively selling gold, and we can see it here much more better in oil of the last week. So before the tensions, right? So the gold has been the crude oil started many weeks ago to sharply increase. After at this level we had then the tensions between Iran and Israel, or the attack of both countries and launching attacks on each other. And we see here that on the same time the VIX started massively to gain. The second one was that also the so-called OVX, or Oil Volatility Index, on the same time started to rise. And what happened? So during the weekend, everybody was talking gold will down again and blah blah blah. I have been also giving you the trading plan, the exact levels, if we go down, at which level we should buy again, and why not to sell, why to get long, just because of these fundamentals, that the VIX is all-time green, and also the OVX is going down, meaning that much more long positions are generating. So, and this is the reason that I was staying all the time long. I was also hoping that the market goes deeper to buy much more aggressively, and we are going then to the next target at around 90 and 94. So at around 90, 94, and the first midterm is at around 100. This especially happened also many weeks before the war between Ukraine and Russia, and this is exactly happening. I told you the Iranians haven't been announcing any news. The Israel didn't do that. So if you are taking any trades, be careful of that, especially in crypto market, in stock market, that the market will push higher, right, somewhere, and then after all those news and events are announced, then it will then crash down, right? So how to deal with that? Now, let's say you have, for example, you are using also your VIX index, right? And the VIX index is going up, right? So on the same time, you know, if VIX going down, then sooner or later the market will come down, right? But at this period of time, you say, okay, but based on my indicators, the market is going up. Can you trade this long? Of course you can, but be very careful. If you're taking a long trade, yeah, we see here, VIX is up, meaning our bias is being short, right? And let's say you see instead the market comes down, the market is going up. What does it tell you? It does tell you it is a trap. But your trading indicator says, for example, buy the market here, right? In this case, you follow your trading indicator, you buy. Also, watching closely, very closely on the same time at the VIX. And you don't expect too much. If you expect, okay, so we have been, the market does this, right? So breaking that level. So yes, it's going up. No, guys, it doesn't. In this case, you buy, but you work with take profit, okay? Only. You buy and you work with take profit. Meaning, for example, you use the take profit 2 to 1, for example, or you say, for example, let's say here 2 to 1 is your profit target, but you say, okay, if the market hits my take profit, I take out 50% of my trade, and I let it run until my trading indicator tells me short. And if your trading indicator tells you short, you immediately take that trade, okay? So that means if the market, and sometimes in 10% of cases, so based on my study of the more different markets, in 10% it can happen that the VIX is very high, meaning risk is extremely on. The market goes in the opposite direction it should go. It means that behind this move is a very, very big hype. There are scalpers, so there are some people who are trapping the market participants. In this case, we talk about a bull trap. So then the market makes then a move like this and then falls much more deeper, right? And this is what majority doesn't understand. But the market made higher highs and I don't know what's happening, right? So, and this is exactly what will happen during the next days and during the next weeks on the markets, guys. So be very, very careful of that. You are very aware, you take and you use a tight stop. You go with the market based on your trading indicator, but you use only take profits, okay? The otherwise is the market does like this and then goes deeper, right? So how can we deal with this situation? Well, we know VIX is up, the market going down, right? So meaning we take bearish trades, right? So the market getting up, we don't do nothing, right? The market is here, for example, we take short, but not at once. We just use 10% of the capital. For example, you can use also less, it doesn't matter, right? Then the market does this, comes higher. Now your position is still there. The market goes against your position, and you see based on your trading indicator, your trading indicator get, for example, a buy signal. You ignore that buy signal. You wait until your trading indicator tells you a sell signal. Then you sell the market again and you put another 10%, all right? So now 80% of your account is safe, right? But because this position temporarily is red, this position you have entered the market running, you have built a so-called average price, right? That means your average price is going higher, right? You use then your proper money management stop loss. If you use it, for example, 1% of your account based on the market, whatever. You can also expect that the market, for example, reaches this one, right? Goes a little bit higher, then not much more better. And you see, okay, on the same time, the VIX is still very, very big and high. You can bet you sell, and what can you do then? You sell the market as soon as the market is in your direction. You trail your stop below your entry price, somewhere in profit. You let it there, and then you go with the trend. Why? Because your trading indicator is short. The most important, one of the most three indicators, your VIX, is signalizing the market will go deeper and forward, is also short, meaning in this case all signs are red, and this means we can bet that we will have a big trend down. That means we don't make any more the position or swing trading. We change from the position or swing trading mode into trend trading mode, right? So we see here, for example, the market makes also very volatile higher. We don't care about it, right? So we don't care about it, right? The market makes this, right? So I clean it. So, right, all the time the VIX is on, right? So you see a local one, a second one, a third one, right? This one is lower, right? So gotta see this. So if you're trading stocks, or if you're trading, for example, crypto, right? Not the oil market. In oil market, we do exactly the opposite. Because the VIX is on, or risk is on, we go always long, all right? So in this case, you see the market structure is long, and the market comes down, we don't care, right? Buy, 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 buy. The market comes down, we buy again, right? So, and then the market going up. But in this case, we see that the oil now at 83.24, so it's high, and then we bet that the market will go higher, right? So that's the way we use this indicator. Why it matters? Because the other, your trading indicator, all the indicators you use, they react, they show you the signals after the market has made its move. So you are always a step behind the market, right? So, but the question is, why is the market making that move? Why does the market is going down? The answer is very easy, because the VIX is on. In this case, we can interpret this, for example, risk on. What kind of risk? That again, the risk of new tensions between Iran and Israel, for example, between China, Russia, and the Western world is increasing, and we know that Russia, for example, and Iran are allies of China, and they are producing oil countries. So that means more sanctions, more economic war means more risk. And what is profiting of this market? Gold and oil mainly. What is, if the VIX or the risk is on, is bad for cryptos, right? For Bitcoin, for example, for stock market, NASDAQ, for S&P 500, and so on, for ETFs and everything what's connected to them. So because the ETFs are dependent on the prices what are happening here, not the opposite. So it means that we don't use the price as our motivation to buy or sell. We use the VIX. The VIX is the cause. It is the reason that the price moves. It is the root that the price moves. It's the account, it's the principle, it's the bottom. You can call it what you want, right? It's the real cause, it's the root cause, the ultimate cause, the simple reason that the price moves up or sideways or down. And now, if you judge this, what is better? That you use, for example, your trading indicator, let's say, for example, the RSI or let's say momentum indicators or the MACD or whatever. This build or give you a signal if the price moves, right? But what causes that the price moves to this direction? And it is simply the VIX. And you don't even know what is happening. Why is VIX on, right? It doesn't interest you because you're a trader. You know, VIX on, the market will collapse. Currently going up, but sooner or later it's coming down, and you get prepared to go short. That's all. The market is down, VIX is down, or coming down, the market goes deeper, and you wait. You don't sell. You wait, and then at the first situation, you take the bullish move. That's all, guys, right? So, of course, there are many indicators. There are more understanding of the market, intermarket analysis, but I hope in this video I could help you a little bit. If you are not subscribed to this channel, subscribe is good for the algorithm. Share it on your social media. Also, contact me on my Instagram. Comment this video and the others. Watch the last video I did. It's very important. Very important. If you want to be successful in this market. And we are going also in the future, as I told you, to make such these videos to show the dirty Wall Street tricks that nobody has been teaching you, but only you can learn it in this channel, guys. Have a good day. Have a fantastic and very profitable day, guys.